Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively in a room, all three of us make the Office Blokes.
Yes, we do.
Correct.
What are we citizens of?
Humanity.
Earth citizens.
The Office Blokes Kingdom.
The Office, yeah, I'll go with that. The Office Bloke Kingdom.
Blokedom.
Yeah, so as we're alluding to, Lawrence from Lost in the Pond is a US citizen now.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, fair play. I sort of assumed he would be because he's married to an American woman and he's been there for like...
Been there a long time.
Over a decade,
16
is it?
years,
Or something?
about 15, 16 years or something.
Like that,
Quite a long time, I think.
So I suppose you don't necessarily have to take the citizenship test to stay if you're married to someone.
No, you'd be a green card holder.
Right.
But to be fair, you know, I don't know where he lives in I think he lives in Milwaukee, Chicago.
Yeah, I think it's Chicago
Illinois, Wisconsin sort of area, down in Midwest. And to be fair, if I had to go back to Grimsby, I think I'd apply to anywhere. You know, let me have a look at that fucking Kazakh test to get into Kazakhstan.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so we like a bit of Lost in the Pond on this channel.
Yeah.
As you know, we've reacted to quite a lot of it. And this is now 6 things I can now legally do as a new US citizen. Own a gun?
I think you can own a gun if you're not a US citizen.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't see why that would be a probably vote.
Vote,
Be
yeah,
one.
that's got to be
Yeah.
one, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Must be.
I suppose some of it may depend state by state.
Jury duty.
Yeah.
No one wants to do jury duty.
I
do they?
got selected when I was in the USA for jury duty.
Did you?
And I had to call them up and I said, "Listen, I can't do this." They went, "You've got to do it. It's your
Civic duty.
civic duty sort of thing." And I said, "Well, I'm not even a citizen. Number one." They went, "Oh, in that case, then no, just ignore it." Sorry about that.
Wonder why they got
Don't know.
you got the call anyway. Then. Strange, isn't it?
Probably were a citizen somehow without knowing.
Yeah.
Some
Well, the
dodgy
kids are.
paperwork had gone.
Yeah.
Kids are dual citizens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, nice. So let's find out then. 6 things I can now do legally. That I can now legally do as a new US citizen.
Hello and Happy New Year to my fellow Americans, I've always wanted to say that, and to my fellow Brits and people around the world, and cats apparently. This is the first video of the new year, and it's the first time that I've entered a new year being a citizen of more than one country. In case you missed my December special, which I will link to at the end of this video, I am now a citizen of the United States of America. And it got me thinking, how does that really change my life, except for the fact that I'll now cry at the end of the film Independence Day?
Was that him finding out? Do you think in the special maybe his wife read the letter to him or something? Because he looked like he was genuinely about to cry there.
He did, yeah.
yeah, but if you look at it, there's a score in the top of like 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I think that might be taking his citizen test.
Right.
And you only have to score 4 out of
I
10.
think it's scored 10. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like
Yeah.
some sort of
I think it's like
questionnaire that he
a
was
couple of
doing.
100 questions or something, and you only have to do, I think they ask you like 10 random ones or something, or 20 random
Yeah.
ones.
Right. Okay.
But you don't
wow.
you don't know which 10 or 20 you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm thinking with the score there 4 to 10, I'm thinking it's 10
Yeah.
you get.
Right.
No, fair enough.
Good.
Well, it turns out that it actually changes my life in several big ways. During the last 14 years in which I resided here legally as a lawful permanent resident, I was for the most part able to live my life quite freely. However, there were some restrictions. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how those restrictions no longer apply to my life since becoming a United States citizen. Now, if you're watching this and you don't...
I wonder if finances, like getting credit and
No.
things like that, is that not an
I
issue?
had all that. Don't know. There's no there's nothing. I bought a house.
Do you have to be there a certain amount of time before you apply for citizenship?
I think you have to hold a green card for a certain number of years.
Yeah. Is that
I've got a few friends who are citizens of the USA now who are
Yeah.
Brits. But I think there's a massive waiting list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is because he's lived there so long and is married.
I think it's a
then-
huge waiting list. Yeah.
Right.
have a clue who I am, but you like the cut of my jib and think, ooh, maybe I should subscribe, do that now. Number 1, and this should fill you with absolute dread, I can now run for political office. Let me clarify that. I can run for most political offices, including senator, although there is the caveat with that I have to have been a citizen for 9 years. So you're going to have to wait till the 2030s until you can vote for me. But I can also run for governor of Illinois, and there are no terms on how long I have to have been a citizen for that. That does vary by state, but Illinois' laws are thus, so I could run today. I should point out, I have no ambition to run for office. I'd rather run away from office, and that's probably what I'll do. And that's definitely true of the presidency, because that's one of the rare jobs in which you not only have to be a US citizen, but you have to be a US born citizen. So the only way I'm going to achieve it is by being cast in Independence Day 3, which frankly is a dream. Actually, this one might scare you more. I can now legally work for the CIA. I could be doing intelligence missions in, well, Britain or just overseas. Because by law, the CIA can't employ non-US citizens. You don't have to have been born here, you just have to have US citizenship. And this is actually true of most federal government jobs. Right? I actually did a search online for jobs for which you have to be a US citizen. There's a surprising amount of them. Social Security Administration, the Library of Congress, the FBI. I could be Fox Mulder from the X-Files. People have often said I look like a young David Duchovny, and they wouldn't lie to me. So there it is. If I ever get bored of my job as a YouTube sensation, how could I? Then I could take up a position as the head of the FBI. I can now leave the country without restrictions. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when I was just a permanent lawful resident, I was prohibited by law from leaving the country for more than 6 months at a time. If I did that,
Wow.
I'd lose my green card and wouldn't be allowed back into the country to live and work. That no longer exists in my life. I can leave the country for however long I want. I could go on that year-long trip to Uzbekistan. Because as you've seen, I'm clearly trying to get my citizenship in all of the EU countries, so why not there next? Uruguay in 2035, by which time I'll be a senator in Illinois. I could do all of that and then just return to the United States unimpeded and go about my business as I did prior to leaving. It's a small thing, admittedly. I'm not the sort of person that leaves the country for more than half a year at a time. But it is good to know that I'll be treated the same way at customs as my wife. I included this one because the knowledge that I'm about to impart might be more useful to other people than it is to me. But if I happen to have children that were under the age of 18 who are also permanent lawful residents, they would automatically become US citizens by virtue of the fact that I've just become a US citizen. Come to think of it, my wife is already a US citizen, so they probably would have beaten me to the punch. But as you can see, I have a cat, so we're going to have to look up the laws around animals and whether they adopt human citizenship of countries. What do you think, Kafka?
We had a passport for our dog.
Did you?
Yeah. Let's have a dog passport type thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm more surprised that you had a dog.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I bet it didn't last long, Dave.
We're missing one day after you had a long drive.
Yeah, I'll have with a couple of bin bags and a couple of breeze blocks.
Not me.
Kafka? You don't care. Yes, this is where the real cause for celebration comes in. I can now legally attend jury duty. I'm not that excited about it, to be honest. And in fact, it's not just that I can now legally attend jury duty, I am in fact legally required to do so. And the funny thing about that is I've lived on this planet for over 40 years, and I've never ever once attended jury duty in either country. However, I have been summoned on 2 occasions. 14 years ago, shortly after moving to this country, I received a letter from the British authorities saying that I needed to attend jury duty in my hometown of Grimsby. But because I lived overseas, I was exempt from doing so, and we all partied the night away. A few months later,
If they're from Grimsby, they're probably guilty, to be fair.
I just make some up. I'd say, I know this guy.
Yeah. Conflict of
I think
interest.
I've seen him before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I received a similar letter from Indiana authorities saying that Lawrence Brown, you have been chosen to attend jury duty here in the state of Indiana. I don't remember all of the specifics. What I do remember is I wasn't eligible. I had to write back to them and tell them, whoever filed my case wasn't very detail oriented. I was much nicer than that. Because I'm not a US citizen. You need to be a US citizen in order to be considered for jury duty in the United States. So I got a reprieve and still haven't had to do it. Somebody joked the other day, knowing how this goes, that I'll probably receive that notice before I even receive my US passport. And fine, if I have to be a juror on a case and make a decision about that case, you can rest easy with the knowledge that I used to play the game Clue a lot, so I'm good at working things out. It was probably the candlestick in some room or other involving a person who has a colour for a last name. Just realised that I do. Could get awkward. And finally, as a direct consequence of becoming a citizen of the United States of America, I am now eligible to vote. And I'm not just talking about those Twitter polls from my wife's cousin Chad, I'm talking about actual US elections. And I know what you're thinking, ooh, Lawrence, you've always been able to vote in the midterms and local elections, right? Wrong. Even as a lawful permanent resident green card holder who paid his taxes and occasionally ate at White Castle, I was prohibited from voting in almost all US elections. And now that those restrictions don't exist, it is my solemn duty not only to register to vote, but to turn up at a voting machine and vote the heck out of it, if that doesn't make any sense. But you know what I mean. This is especially important ahead of my inevitable run in the 2034 midterms. And so there's just a selection of the things that I can now legally do as a citizen of the United States. And I want to thank you all for the hundreds and thousands of congratulatory messages that came my way during and after my previous video in which I announced my citizenship. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePondUS, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I don't have to. Over at Pondland, which is my
that definitely smashed it for him, that video. You can see why as well.
Yeah, you're a citizen. I mean, if you're gonna reside there permanently, you may as well become a citizen.
Absolutely.
In any country, if it's available, take it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Jury duty. That's why you wouldn't.
Well, that's one of the downsides, I suppose. Yeah.
You don't have to vote though, do you?
I don't know.
No, you don't.
I think you're right. It's just having the right to vote if you want to, I suppose, isn't it?
I guess you don't have to vote because, like, what was the voting turnout last time in the US elections? It was something like 60% or something.
Pretty low, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
So no, voting over here, the turnout's always low.
It's like 40-50%, isn't it?
Yeah,
something
it
like
can
that.
be pretty bad sometimes.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to vote next time now.
I think a lot of people will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be a bit busy at the polling stations next time, no doubt. But
I still have a bit of a they're all as bad as each other vibe, and I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? You know, all right, vote this lot out, but who'd you get in? You know, and you look at their cabinet, you think, really?
Yep.
You know, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, I think. But
I might just change my citizenship.
Yeah,
Be something else instead.
Well, I was waiting for Skexit to happen, where Scotland leave,
oh right,
and then try and join the EU, and then I'll get an EU passport because 3 of my grandparents were Scottish.
To do what with? You don't fucking go anywhere now.
I was in Bury on New Year's.
Bury.
You use your Scotland passport to sit in the drawer.
Yeah,
I've not even got a passport. I've not
exactly.
I've had a passport for 6 years. I'm getting one this year though. It's on my list.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go abroad with the kids this year.
It takes about 10 minutes, mate.
And to do the application.
Yeah.
I know loads of things take 10 minutes.
Yeah. Get in there.
Anyway, yeah.
Well
done, Lawrence.
Yeah,
Congratulations and all that good stuff.
Nice one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.